It feels kind of special, doesn't it? It's not particularly the Shade's birthday, but regardless of that, it still feels special. Just walking through beside the king, walking up the stairway, just the music, the atmosphere, everything. It just has a nice feeling to it. I hope you've, throughout this series, come to enjoy this place, this realm deep, deep under the earth in these caves, the same way I do. Hey Face, can you tell me a secret? You may find a hidden domain. If you try to breathe freely, check. You may find a mysterious door if you look for it, where you can see the most. You may find a birthday present in a most beautiful place. Well, beautiful places. It could be, I can imagine three different directions from the center. The halls of eternity, the place above with the mushrooms, and the waterfall. I think all three are rather special. If you recall, actually, let me jump to a picture really quick. Found it. This picture. The one in the center. And it kind of resembles the three waterfalls, if you remember them clearly. A secret of what, though? It's interesting, isn't it? All right, let's jump back to the game. So, I think let's go to the waterfall. But to finish, if we put it all together, a wondrous secret. Secret? Wondrous secret is revealed. I take that as a clue. All right. While we're here, time is relentless. Down in your innermost cave, your mind rules above all, even over time, over reality and dream. Yet under a blue light, things may appear reversed, though strangely familiar, like a well-known book which ends on its first page. It's still quite cryptic. But when it comes to all the things that the face has to offer us, it's those two things that we don't quite understand yet. I've tried to sit and listen to the soundtrack of this game, and it's a great soundtrack. It really is. But it's different than sitting there with the Shade. I think that's the main thing when someone replays the game. It's true for myself and for my best friend. My best friend, we played on this Switch together because I was the only one that we had between us. But she has her own now, and she went on and purchased the game, even though she's completed it here on my Switch. To just sit and have the Shade for herself. But to walk around in some of these halls, just let the Shade sit there while you're off doing your things. It's fun. I would have bookmarks of places with favorite music. And also the feature to have the shade just walk somewhere at random. That one's great because you don't quite know where the shade's going until you hear the music. You know, I'm speaking from the mindset of you have the shade just on and you set him to walk somewhere randomly. And then you're off on some other tab or on another monitor, just doing your own thing. But the shade is walking and the music in the background that it sets, you're on that journey at the same time, you know, setting your mood. I guess it's like having a pet hamster that has his own theme songs. I like how the shade gets up so quickly, just unfazed by that long drop. Do you hear it? Well, it's rather what we don't hear. The music. Look at that. The awakening of the king will be such a joyful moment. I'm sure it will be. Okay, but shade. Oh, a piece of lapis lazuli. Now I can paint the blue sky I will never see. And another. The water is all gone, and there's this crevice, this crater. The waterfalls have all stopped. And there's this crystal that resembles the two others that we already have. The Matic is just asking if I want to break off a piece of crystal. Let's go around to the top. Well, this certainly answers the question of that painting. A secret. But why now? Why is it different now? The shade, when we visited here the couple of times, has never commented anything about time or anything in particular happening in this place. It's strange though, without the music. It's kind of like the beauty of the place is gone now that the water isn't here. Let's walk all the way around. There doesn't seem to be any passage or anything that's opened up so far. Hey, we found some water. Moss. There's that weird demonic face that we pointed out in the wall. To me, the lack of music, I mentioned before the idea that I don't think music is actually playing, but it's kind of the way the shade feels, his feeling of expression in a specific place where his imagination roams. And it's just kind of his feeling, his perception of that place and the feeling it gives him. And that's the music. I think he also perhaps just daydreams music. And with no music here, it's almost like he doesn't know what to think. He doesn't know what to feel. But there's no way to climb to it. What a curious thing. We did, however, find some lapis. We found 4 more pieces, which means we can now burn the lapis. We can make a fire with it. So let's go explore that. Lapis, we found 1 piece early in the game, and it's given us the ability to draw blue. So it makes sense, if it's blue, that when we burn it, it would be a blue fire. You know, sulfur being a yellow fire, coal being, well, coal, yeah, let's ignore that detail. And now I have crystals in the way of my fireplace. We can't actually see the color of the fire. Shade? Do you not wish to... Okay. I didn't see a text box there. I think when we get back, we'll move some of the crystals. That way we can see the color of the flame. We can also take a look at our Book of Thoughts, because it is well past the Shade's birthday. I wonder what he has to say, if anything, about that. I've shared once before on another stream about when I was going from one place to another. It was a long bike ride, and I would just for fun, like to take different side streets that I had never been to before. Shade, what are you doing? I enjoyed the side streets, they were fun. A lot of the times, though, this was something I think this game helped me overcome, is in my mind, I just wanted to be at my destination. I just wanted to be there already. So sometimes the other sights around me, they helped because I was in the present, I was in the moment and just enjoying the ride. It was the journey that I was enjoying, not the destination, right? So I had a difficulty with that. If I knew my surroundings, my mind would be at the destination, kind of like now. We want to burn this fire, and we've already planned ahead what we're going to do when we are at home, but we're not in the moment. We're not enjoying the walk. If anything, it just makes us want to go and get there faster, because that's where our mind is. You know, we want that to be the present. It's kind of like a time travel, but it doesn't work. It doesn't work because our mind's there, but we're not there yet. And so we just rush. Not like the shade. Go the other way. It's faster. Oh, there's something I remembered that I wanted to mention yesterday or the day before when we were stuck. And that's, in an idle game, it usually rewards you for actively playing compared to letting the game be idle. And another way the game does that is letting you pass time. If you sit with the game open long enough, the shade will fall asleep and you'll dream. And with each dream, time passes faster. So you could say we're being rewarded by time moving faster while playing the game. It doesn't increment faster, it's just at a certain point, you're rewarded an extra hour. You've done it. You've just moved time by an hour. It's a very neat, very subtle feature. So even if he didn't have your home all fancied up and allowing time to move faster because you're enjoying yourself at home, just by leaving the game on, if you left the game on for 400 days, you would complete it far before 400 days. I'm curious what the actual math is for that. Ooh, look at that pile of gold. Okay. Let's find our cursor. make a fire. We only have 5 lapis, so I guess we can only do this once. That's cool. If you look at the time, it's moving forward 1 second at a time, instead of as it usually does. It's really difficult to see fire. Nothing better than resting a weary body on a comforting armchair. Let's look at our thoughts. At least my birthday will be a bit sooner. Well, we just went right through it, and, he doesn't have it crossed out or anything. Doesn't seem to have made any note. Do you see that? The time. That's not how time normally counts. Oh yes, it does. Actually, time is normally counting down. What we saw when the fire was burning was time counting backwards. Look, we still have our lapis. Let's do it again. 21, 22, 23. It seems different because that's the normal way you would count time is forward. But in this game, we're supposed to be counting backwards. So for counting forward, that means time is backwards. If time is going backwards, we've actually gone back in time to before we burned the lapis. That means we can burn the lapis and we'll have the same lapis again once it's finished burning. Time moves 1 second at a time, however, and we only gain 1 minute for doing this. So if we wanted to, we can just wait right here. Oh, do you see it? It's backwards. I feel like the time is going faster. Since this place is getting more homey. It's all like little clues. The face on the wall. It did mention that time is with the blue fire. Actually, let's not try to quote it. I have a picture of it. Pictures. That's the wrong one. Here it is. Time is relentless, but down in your innermost cave, your mind rules above all, even over time, over reality and dream. Yet under a blue light, things may appear reversed, though strangely familiar, like a well-known book, which ends on its first page. Kind of cryptic. So, a book ending on its first page. I enjoy this game so much because it doesn't expressly tell you how to do anything. Moby Dick. a book we've already finished. I'm going to turn back pages. Pay attention to the time. It's now day 21. It's now day 22. Like a book turning to its first page. We missed the Shade's birthday, but we don't have to. You can just go back and celebrate his birthday on the day it happens. Oh, it stopped. How time flies, indeed. So, time when it moves forward, moves rapidly forward, and it kind of gets in our way. So, this is something that we can play with. This little hourglass, it's been sitting on our table since the very moment we began the game. And if we keep fidgeting with it, maybe I'm not supposed to close it. Oh, that happened very quickly, and I wasn't ready for it. After all, time goes by faster if you keep your mind occupied. Okay, since this place is getting more homey, I feel like time is going faster. Time is progressing slow and steady, slow and steady. So this is an option. We're going to pick the other one and pay attention to the time. Life is slow. So instead of every second being 24 seconds, it's now 1 second for one. So we can light a blue fire, and once the fire ends, we're not going to start losing time rapidly. You can see the hourglass, it's no longer spinning around. I'm going to try playing some music. We can add time. It's 10 minutes at a time. Playing in reverse doesn't do anything. It's interesting how the books are, instead of saving us minutes, they're saving us hours. While music, it's still just 10-minute increments. But we have some serious reading to do. We shall continue to read backwards. So what would happen if I just jumped to the first page of a book? Let's pick a smaller book, like Poems 2. Nothing. The magic is really about the individual page turning. And you can only claim a page once, I believe. guess not. It's different than what I thought. We'll just scroll back a few pages. Time. It's really nice how the blue fire can really see the effect it has. The fire itself is almost invisible, but the whole room glowing blue. Today is my birthday. Hooray! Happy birthday, Shade. See, we didn't miss it after all. We're gonna go to very tip top of the day. I've gone a bit far. That's fixable. And here we are, an hour before the Shade's birthday, and it is crossed out now. At least my birthday will be a bit sooner. We'll just play a bit of music. The buttons aren't working. Let's try that again. So we should have a bit of time to spare. Let's go back and visit the secret on the moment of our birthday. I think it's a good thing that if you were to just jump to the first page of Moby Dick, you don't just move, you know, some near 3,000 hours. What does that calculate to? $3,000 divided by 24, 125 days. Yeah, it's a good thing we didn't just jump 125 days. Granted, the book is not exactly 3,000 pages, close enough. I'm gonna go grab a drink and let's enjoy the journey. playing this game for the first time. To me, I didn't put too much significance on the birthday, and I just looked around and found the lapis, just casually, and found the crystal, you know, where similar to how we just saw it. Is that the fastest way shade? Yes, it is, because we have to go up to jump down. When my best friend was playing, they thought differently about it. They thought it was very significant when the day would turn to the birthday. Why not enjoy the whole spectacle of it? And so she had spent some days in advance planning for it, and then sat outside from the Shade's home, so that way when she was up and she would go to the switch, she would turn it on, and she had plenty of time to spare. And she was able to just open a book, turn it forward a few minutes, and just calculate. Maybe, I think she set it for about an hour before the birthday, and just let the shade sit here. Well, not here, but the here we're going to be once we get there. This sounds familiar. Oh, well, this is interesting. We can get more lapis. So I had meant to pick it up. As it floated past us, I hesitated. Just a small bit. I was enjoying the moment. Okay, we can do it again. We have the power of time after all. So that's how you get it. The very moment that the birthday happens, the shade didn't say it here. Actually, while the shade walks home, let's take a look at the pictures, because I recall something a little bit different that we didn't get to see. Oh, I see. It's because we didn't pick it up. So we will see it once we do it correctly. No point in spoiling it. Looking at the time, we'll have enough time to celebrate our birthday again. This time we'll pick it up without hesitation. I'll just smash the buttons. It's still fun. It's still a nice thing to see and experience. To see how it did what it did. To understand what it was doing. That it was floating up from the pools, and once it reached its position, the water just stopped. It left, it went away. It was interesting how once it floated up out of the water, the music became brighter, louder. Makes me wonder, maybe the shade isn't imagining music, not everywhere. In some places I think so, but these crystals, just by standing near them, they kind of emit a sound, a music of their own. Perhaps it was amplified by those other crystals being underwater. Once it came out, it really echoed and resonated, but then it was silent. That's the weird part. Maybe it's light. Things with light. That's where music is. Being close to the king, of course there's music there, because the king is kind of the source of light. This is something we explored before. When you get further from the king, the darker everything gets. And it gets quieter as well. Until that one particular place where we pick up the mushroom, and the mushroom casts light. And then there's fun music that happens there. And then we don't hear anything. It's absolute silence. Kind of a haunting silence, really. There was some sounds that we had there when we were first faced with the darkness. And then beyond that, it was nothing. Not until we reached the surface. And then there was its own music, bits of sounds of nature and all that, including the tower. The Hall of Eternity, it has its own music. And there, that location with the fountains, the waterfalls, it has its own music. Here it does as well. The library also has its own music. Well, here's a question. How old is the shade? I'm sure your first thought would be, well, he's one now, he's 1 year. But we've experienced our birthday twice so far. We're about to experience it again for the third time. Are we still one? Yeah, I know we celebrated the same birthday again, but that's not the point. We're going to celebrate it differently this time. I can't move. There we go. Did it again. Come on. about 10 minutes last time, which was plenty. So I'm gonna pick up a book, read a couple of pages. It should set us a little bit closer. I don't think reading Moby Dick is going to help. No, because we read this book before. So we have enough time to reach the place of our birthday, and we're going to pick up the crystal as it appears. But soon after that, I will set the shade to walk home on his own, and then we will leave it there. Tomorrow, we'll explore the meaning of these 3 crystals and what that means for us, this secret that we've unlocked. I think I will also, at some point, come back into the game and play with time, because, well, we could leave it and let the shade have a full day of it being a birthday. But no, we want to see the other ending at the very, very end, so we'll shift time to move forward at 24 seconds per second, so that way tomorrow it'll be closer to 10 days remaining. Thinking back, I wonder if I had picked up that moss there, and then we rewinded time to before I picked up the moss, would the moss be there again? What if we left the mattock there in that corner and we never picked it up until today? Would, after we turned back time, would the mattock be there again? I think these are good questions for another day. Once again, Shade, happy birthday. What a nice birthday present from the king. We picked it up. It's interesting the way the animation still plays through with the music and everything to the point where when the crystal would have reached the top, the water disappears. Well, enjoy the walk home, Shade. Maybe he'll take a different path just to switch up the scenery a bit.